We shall go ahead and type immigration to Canada. When you come to this site, you're going to select immigration and citizenship. Then it is going to bring you here. You apply to travel, study, work, or immigrate to Canada. Apply for citizenship, a permanent resident card, or a refugee protection. Check the status of your application or find a form. So once you have tried to log in and you're successful, but you do not complete your application today or in the moment that you try to try the process, this is where you're going to come back. So now that you're going there to work, this is what you're going to use. So you come down to this part that is saying sign in or create an account to apply online. You click on that, then it is going to bring you to this place. Like I had told you before, it's either you have a GC key or you have bank information, so you're going to sign in with partner. But now that most of us do not have the signing partner, we are not going to use the GC key. Click on sign in with GC key. So now it's going to bring you here. In this part, you don't have an account, so that is what we are going to create. So you click on sign up. After that, it is going to give you the terms and conditions. So you read the terms and conditions. If you want to read more about it, you can just click on this. But now that we don't want to read the terms, we're just going to say accept. I'll say Canada job. Canada job. I'm a Canada job. Canada job, so that it is a word that is not being used by somebody else. Let's see whether it's being used. You continue. So that one, oh, it's saying that it must be at least 8 characters in length. These are 6, 7. So let me add a U. Canada job. So that one has been accepted. It's telling us to create a password. So it has suggested for me, this is what I am just going to use because this is just a dummy account, the one that I am telling you for you to create for yourself to just get to familiarize yourself with the process. So we say continue. Then it is asking you to create some questions. After you have accepted, now it's going to let you create a username. In the other place, I had created Canada Worry. Right now, which are now going to be answering whenever you come back to your account. After creating your recovery questions, so they are going to ask you for a recovery address. That is an email address whereby you can recover your account with. So this is the same process that goes with most apps. So you just key in your recovery email address. When you key in that information, then it will tell you that it has successfully created your G key. Your username is now that one which you will have selected. Mine is now Kadajobu. And then it is going to tell you that it wants you to verify the email address. So that is what I'm going to do right now. So we verify the email address. So we are now going to put the confirmation code here. So I have successfully created my recovery option. So now we are going to continue with the process of creating our account in the home page as directed here. So we continue. It is saying welcome Canada job, our username, you know. So to help protect your information, please remember to sign out and close your browser before leaving this computer. From this page, you can change your password. You can change your recovery questions, and you can also manage your email addresses or even revoke your GC key. So we are going to just continue with our process of application. Either select whether we want to use English or French. Since we don't know French, you're just going to select English. Then it is going to take you back to the place that we started. Remember, we were here so that we created this account. Now, it is now time to apply. So we just go ahead and click the same. Sign up to your IRCC secure account. We just say sign in with GC key. It has now brought us to the same process we had done before. So now, after you read all of these terms and conditions, you say accept. Then it is going now to ask you to enter the following information as it appears in your passport. And I'm providing these videos as information for you to help you in your application processes. So this is the information that is going to be on your passports. And remember, even if you do not have a passport right now, you have not applied for a passport right now, you can just use your real names or your dummy names, and then you're going to come back and do this process when you're going to do it now, the final take. Okay, yes, so we go ahead and key in our names. Let's say we are called work, or because I want to remember what I have written here, let's just say kada, the whatever that we used, jobu. Then the email address, you're going to use the same email address that I'm using for this account, and that one I am going to just allow me to not show this information because scammers might be out there and I don't want to be found by any problem from the internet. So I'm going to cover that. Once you have put your email address, you select the language. I've selected English in my case because I can't understand French. And then now we say continue. Then it is also going to give you security questions, which are similar to the ones that we had created before for the recovery. So this is just a way of creating a secure account for you, because remember, these are very sensitive information that you're giving in these processes, so you have to be very, very careful. So I'm just going to quickly answer these questions and then I will continue with the process. Since this is a dummy account that we are creating, I'm just going to show you everything. So for the first question, in my case for this account, let's say I might say, what is my name? Or what is my name? We say kada, like in our, what we call it, username. So what is the second name? We say jobu. Then the third question is, we can say, what are we doing? What are we doing? The answer to that is that we are creating the profile. And the fourth question, we can say, why are we doing it? Why this, or why this? For illustration. Yes, for illustration. So remember, when you're creating these questions and answers, create something that you can easily remember, because you will be using a computer. You can just screenshot. So with Snipe tool, you screenshot this one like that, you see, and then you save it as a picture in your computer or in your laptop. You can say these are recovery questions. So this is when you are creating your account, so that you do not forget. And in case you happen to forget, you can just refer back. After you have done that, you click continue. Well, validation error. Please provide the necessary information below. The question you have inputted is invalid. So they have realized my questions are not valid. Let me put question marks. What is my second name? Question mark. What are we doing here? Question mark. Wait, why are they saying this? The question you have inputted is invalid still. Question 4. Why create this? Why create this account? Wait, I have just pressed continue without even realizing it. After now you have created the account, you've provided the questions that for recovery, then you now start your application. So you come here and say apply to come to Canada, and in this application segment, it includes applications for visitor visas, work and study permits, express entry and international experience Canada. You will need your personal reference code if you have one. So this is where you're going to come and create your account, because it has told us visitor visas, and when you're applying for the temporary visa, we use the visitor visas for Canada, and then it is also the place that people applying for work permits come to do their application. We continue with the apply to come to Canada. You will be told to please enter your personal reference code to begin your application. Because you don't have the personal reference code, you're just going to skip that part. Then you come down here to the visa, study, and or work permit. So you click on that. Then they are going to bring you to this, and then they are going to ask you questions to see your eligibility. So find out if you're eligible. What would you like to come to do in Canada? We are going there to work. How long are you planning to stay in Canada? So here we are going to select the temporarily more than 6 months. Then we select that. Select the code that matches on the one on your passport. Make a selection. So this is where you select the code of your country. Don't be scared by the term code. You select the country that you're going to come from. So in my case, it is Kenya. So it is going to be KNE. So this one, Kenya. The next question is, what is your current country, territory, or residence? If you are presently in Canada, you should select Canada. So my case, it is still Kenya. Do you have a family member who is a Canadian citizen or permanent resident and is 18 years old? If you do have a person like that, then you say yes. If you don't, like in my case, you just say no. What is your date of birth? Select the year. This one I'm just going to select something that is random. So you can even say 2019. Would they will detect because it will be too close. So let's say 1990. 1990 something. Where are 90s? So let's say by the time you are 18 years, I think somebody who is 1990 is over 18 years. Then we select the month. We can say it's January. Then we can say it was actually 1st of January 1990. And then we click next. Are you a lawful permanent resident of the United States with a valid U.S. citizenship and immigration services, USIS number? Then that one is no. But if you have one, you can say yes. Then you click on next. I have a job offer. My employer gave me an offer of employment number or LMIA, or proof that your employer applied for an LMIA. So this is where we ask you that if you get a job offer, you ask them to give you their LMIA, because now you see this is the place that you're going to need it. So we're just going to say yes, we do, so that we can see what is the process for the somebody that has one. But you can also say you do not have one. But this is now where the forms that you're going to be provided with are going to vary, because if you say yes, then they are going to ask you for the document. But if you say no, then you're not going to be asked for the document. Are we together on that? Thank you. So we're going to say yes in our case for illustration purposes. Then we continue. What is the status of your job offer? Because remember, we have said we have the LMIA document. So it is less than 1 year, at least 1 year, permanent. So let's say it is at least 1 year. Then we click on next. So this you're going to fill according to the job offer that you have been given. That is why you must be very, very careful. All right. So these are the next question. Do you plan to work in Canada for the following categories? Athletes and coaches, business visitors, blah, blah, blah. Emergency, family members, foreign, healthcare, highly skilled, judges, military, all of those. Then we make a selection and say yes. Will you be coming to Canada under an active public policy or special measure under announced IRCC? You're just going to say yes. Are you a spouse, a common law partner, or a dependent child of a person who has or is applying for a work permit for a job or national occupation class, that OA or B? This one you can just say no. Have you recently graduated from a participating Canadian post-secondary institution for which your study program was full-time and a minimum of 8 months? We have not graduated, so we can say no. Then we say continue. What is your marital status? Well, in my case, I am never married and single. Then what is your province of destination? If you're visiting multiple provinces, select one which you will be spending most of your time. So in this case, because this is for illustration, I think I love Ontario, so I'm just going to say Ontario. Next. But if you have a job offer, remember to include the place that that job offer is in. So based on the information you have provided, the results below indicates whether you may be eligible to Canada. So you see, it has given me the options that I can apply to based on the information that I have provided. We can either apply for foreign worker, international mobility program. By the way, I'm going to do a video on the international mobility program, a solo video, so that you can understand this pathway. So you are going to require a visitor's visa and no work permit. But if you are outside Canada like we are, in our case right now, we are going to apply for an open work permit. An open work permit means that when you get to Canada, you can work for the employer you have been given a job offer from, and even others that are in Canada. So basically, you can find a job from any institution in Canada as long as you have an open work permit. So let's use the open work permit and say continue. Create your personal checklist. Open work permit when you are outside Canada. You are almost there. We are going to ask you a few more questions. Based on your answers, we'll provide you with a personal checklist of all the documents you need to submit with your application. Do not submit multiple applications for the same service in an effort to speed up your application, because doing this may result in both applications being processed and delay in the finalization of your application. We do not refund processed applications. Fee. So you have to be very careful. Let's continue with the process. So what type of work permit do you want to apply for? We make a selection. So there is the work permit through the seasonal agriculture program. There is the one with the labor impact assessment. There is another one with the intra-company and all these others. And because we are selecting the one with the LMIA because we have been given a job offer, I'm assuming this is for somebody with a job offer. So we select the one with LMIA. Then we say next. Did Employment and Social Development Canada issue employers labor under the global talent stream? We say yes. So that question is asking whether your company gave you, the company that gave you the job offer gave you the LMIA document. Does your labor impact assessment indicate that you must become a member of a professional association in Canada? We're going to select yes. So you answer according to what your LMIA document says. But in this case, we are just going to say yes. Then we click on next. Are you accompanying a family member that has status in Canada or has recently been approved to come to Canada? In our case, no. Have you committed, been arrested for, or been charged with, or convicted of any criminal offense in any country? No. We ain't criminals, are we? But there is a pathway for criminals if you are a criminal. So have you had a medical exam performed by an RCC authorized panel physician? No. But if you have one, you can select yes. So you kind of answer the questions based on your individual case. Have you visited or lived in any one of the designated countries or 6 consecutive months in the last year? No. Do you want to work in one of the following jobs? Health sciences, clinical, patient attendant, medical student, medical elective, teacher of primary school, domestic worker, someone who gives in home care, day nursery. Then remember, this is an open work permit, so you have to say yes. Then you click on next. Based on your answer, you need to get a medical exam performed by an authorized doctor. You may continue with your application. We will contact you if you need a medical exam. Then you click on next. So they are guiding you based on the information that you provide. If you feel there is some data that you don't want to give, please remember not to provide, because if you do not have proof for these documents or for this information you're going to provide, then it is going to be a hindrance for your application. So make sure you select the questions accordingly based on what you can provide. So you say next. We continue. Do you want to submit an application for a family? If you want to go with your family, this is now where you say yes, but in this illustration, we're just going to say no. Next. Are you giving someone access to your application? This is where your agent comes in. If you're going to use an agent, then you say, yes, I will be appointing a representative to apply on my behalf. Yes, grant authorization for IRCC, release your application information to another person. But in this case, you're just going to say no. Next. In the past 10 years, have you given your fingerprints or photo or basically the biometrics for an application to Canada? Definitely no. But if you have one, then you can say yes. There are fees associated with this application. Will you be paying your fees or are you fee exempt? We are not fee exempt. We will be paying. Yes, I will be paying my application fees. And you say next. Are you able to make a digital copy of your documents or scanner or camera? Then you can say yes, you can. This one is definitely say yes, because you can also go and access them from a cyber in your local area and then scan them for you. So just say yes. Next. Will you be paying your application fees online? To pay online, you can create a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, GCB, China Union, or a Visa debit or debit MasterCard. So if you have an ATM card, in our case, for example, the Kenyans, just say yes, you're going to pay it online. Then you click on next. After you have filled in all these questions, they are going to tell you to review your answers. So in this place, you can just come here and see, did I answer my question correctly? If there is something you feel you can remove, you just come and say edit. You see this button over here. You say you click on it. For example, if you do that, it is going to bring us back here. All right. And then if you change something, then you update information. All right. So that is how you do it. But unfortunately, when you do that, it is going to take you back and then it is requiring you to do it all over again. So we're just going to say next, because we had already created this. Again, this is where if you feel like maybe that open work permit is having a lot of complications and I want to change to this foreign worker international mobility program, then you can come back and say continue from now the international. Remember, we had selected this one. So you just say continue from wherever you want. Because I don't want to lose that information we provided, we're just going to continue with what we had. If you still want to review your answers, this is the place to come back and review your answers from. But if you are comfortable with what you have already provided, then you're now going to come and say continue. Then this is now the checklist. Submitting your application. On the screen, you will be asked to upload the documents of your application. Please do not use your browser navigator's button back and forward, as they will not work properly within this application. So the first step is to use your account. You must be logged in whenever you are coming to do this application. Step 2 is to save your application. Step 3 is to upload the documents. And in the last step is to pay your fees. So there are conditions to which you can send your documents in. You can either send them as PDFs, as JPG, TIF or PNG, or documents, or the Microsoft Word document. One more thing is that each file should be 4 MBs, that is 4 megabytes. So under these, if they ask you for documents or whatever documents they're going to ask you for, make sure that you can put them in one PDF so that you can make it one document. If they go beyond the 4 MBs, then you can do 2 documents. But if you upload one document, it is better for you to reduce the chances of them getting lost in way here and there. So after now you have read all of that, you say continue. So here you're going to come to your document checklist, the application forms. So based on the information that we have provided, we are going to need an application for work permit made outside Canada. You upload that file. Then you are going to also need employment reference letter, which we said we had, because remember we have the LMIA document, then the LMIA impact assessment document, our passport, our employment records, that is if we have any employment history, then our resume, our digital photo, our proof of membership, our request for medical exam, then the employment contract, which is now the job offer or the job letter, and then the proof that you meet the requirements for the job being offered. So as you saw in my previous video, the one that we uploaded about the process of applying, I had told you that you would need a marriage certificate and even a proof of relationships. This is where you prove the family relationships. But because we didn't select we are married or we have relationships with people in Canada, then those documents are not going to be required in our case. So however you're going to answer your questions in the eligibility criteria, that is what is going to determine the kind of documents they are going to ask you for. So do not say that Mary said this is the document I'm supposed to be providing. These are the documents that I'm commonly asked for, but now when I have filled my application, the website does not give me the option for these documents. This is because the information that you're going to provide is the one that is going to determine the kind of documents you're going to upload. For example, if we said that we have a person in Canada that has invited us, then they would be needing the invitation letter for you to show the proof that you have the invitation letter. So the optional documents are Schedule 1 application. For Kenyans, you need to have this one. And then the client information. These are optional. Then the application fee. This is the money now that you're going to pay. You will be asked for work permit, which is 155 Canadian dollars. And then the biometric fees, 85 Canadian dollars. And then the open work permit holder fee, which is $100. In total, you're going to have $340. Now, since we do not have the files, we're just going to cancel and our application is going to end there. But we can go to the immigration website again. So let's just exit the questionnaire. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, I am. Because I don't want to submit, remember, this is for illustrations. We're done with the application. I didn't submit because I am not applying, but now when you submit, then it is going to take you further and now ask you to submit the documents. Then the forms. So this is where you can find the forms. Under the same immigration and citizenship website, you come and say, find an application form. They are going to ask you, what are you looking for? A form or a checklist? Then they are going to show you the kind of forms, dependent on the forms that the website or the email you're going to get after you have submitted your application. Okay, good. So that is all I wanted to show you. So this is how you can do it from the website, from the immigration website. It is not a difficult thing as long as you know what you are doing. So be sure that I am going to apply for an open work permit, or am I going to apply for employer specific work permit? So you just come and say create your profile. You create your profile, then you sign up, and then you go ahead and apply. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that this has been helpful for you. And if you want to do this as many times as you can, go ahead and create those accounts. As you can see, we didn't submit and it doesn't have a problem with that as long as you use it effectively. All right. So if you create your account and you do not finish your application immediately, you have 60 days to keep coming back and forth to try and see what you didn't provide, what you have to provide. So this is going to be taken for 60 days. But if 60 days lapses and you have not finished this, then the immigration website is going to close your account. So make sure you submit your application before 60 days lapses. So that is all about Canada application process. If there is something that you need clarification for, go ahead and ask in the comment section. Until next time, bye bye. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and comment.